Hello and welcome to KLAA Community Cares, a program that helps us understand the needs in our community and introduces us to experts and organizations who are trying to make positive changes in Southern California. With your host, Tammy Trujillo.
Hi, and welcome to this edition of Community Cares. I'm Tammy Trujillo. You're listening to AM 830 KLAA. Well, I have somebody in the studio who is no stranger to the studio, but perhaps sitting in a different place today. Danny Hager is here. You know him from the morning show here at KLAA. If you're saying, well, yeah, I do, but I haven't heard him for the past couple of weeks. Well, that's because he's got a new title. He is the Community Relations Manager for the Salvation Army in Orange County. Big move for you, Danny. My gosh, what a change.
Yes, and thank you so much for having me today, Tammy. Hey, it's great to be on AM 830 KLAA Angels Radio.
Wow, you still do that really good, too.
I still snap into it. I have to tell myself in the morning not to get stories for Roger in the Sports Lodge every day. It's an adjustment.
Not get up at 4 a.m.
Right.
And yeah. Mm-hmm. Tell us quickly about this change, because, boy, you're night and day. Very different.
Yeah, it's quite a bit different, but also I get to implement a lot of the same skills that I developed here and things that I've been doing here for so long. And first of all, I should thank Angels Radio AM 830. This was a place where Southern California first welcomed me and made me feel at home and gave me a place to spotlight and train, generate my skills. And it was a tremendous change when this opportunity came about, when I interviewed with the Salvation Army here in Anaheim at our Adult Rehabilitation Center. We're at 1300 South Lewis Street, and I got a phone call there to come interview. And I can't tell you how many, I was almost up to 300 applications that I had put out there, and I was looking for just the right thing, something that I can make a career with, something that I can make a difference. And boy, did I find it. I cannot tell you how thrilled I am to have found such a fulfilling position and somewhere where I can make an impact and look back and know that I made a difference.
Well, I remember we first talked about this right after you announced that you were leaving the morning show here at AM 830 KLAA, and you were a little bittersweet because you loved doing the morning show, but boy, you were so excited about getting into this new venture, and you were just raring to go.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The enthusiasm, I couldn't hold it back. And then once I got into the job and realized the task at hand, I was sure on my feet and brought back to earth from the clouds, but I'm ready to make a big impact here. And I do want to thank the Salvation Army for finding me a position where, a young person 3 years out of college now can start a career, and I'm hoping it's a long, beneficial one, both for myself, for Orange County, and for the Salvation Army.
Well, you're bringing a lot of energy to it, and that's a big part. But you're still part of the radio station, too, so you'll be around here.
Gratefully, and I'm so proud to be a part here. It's such a thrill to drive into the parking lot at Angel Stadium here in Anaheim. It's a special place, and this radio station's been very good to me, and I hope to be a part of it for a long time to come as well.
I interned for the Angels back in college, and I know being able to drive in that lot,
it's
there's
great.
Just something about
There's
it.
There's nothing
Danny.
like it.
I agree with you, and I love being back here too, so we're on the same page here. But let's talk about the Salvation Army. Let's talk about your new baby here.
Absolutely.
When people think of the Salvation Army, if you just went and did a man on the street kind of thing, they would probably come up with the donating of goods, because most of us do that. The collection drives, we all know those during the holidays. And that's probably just about where most people would stop when it comes to what is the Salvation Army. I know there's a lot more, so fill us in.
Sure, and I think you're absolutely right, Tammy. Is the Salvation Army is well known for the bell ringing around the holidays and the international disaster relief. We're usually one of the first organizations on site, no matter what happens around the world. We are in 110 plus countries worldwide in 125 languages. So we are quite literally everywhere. But here in Anaheim, not a lot of people know about our philanthropy here, and it's so close even here to the stadium. Right off on Lewis Street, 1300, we have an adult rehabilitation center. And here at the Adult Rehab Center, there are 170 men and women who come on site here, and they've battled with all kinds of addiction. It's drugs, alcohol, gambling, divorce, separation, homeless. And they come here with almost no resort, with no will, broken down, and in many cases struggling with all kinds of different things. And most people don't know that your donations and you shopping at the Salvation Army stores funds rehab for these 170 people at no cost to them. And they're given food, clothing, 3 meals a day, shelter, medical assistance, and work therapy programs that are phenomenal, and they are top class. And I've seen it firsthand over the past few weeks. Your donations are turning people's lives around completely.
So these are people who basically were at their end of their rope. There was just nothing.
Yes.
And
Yes.
you're basically bringing them in, getting them back on their feet in every sense.
That's right.
And directing them to start a new life.
That's exactly what we're trying to do. These individuals come from all walks of life, backgrounds. Some are high school dropouts. Some were affluent business professionals. And now these people struggle with addiction. And it's not just one person. You know, when someone's struggling, it's at least 6. There are children, siblings, friends, spouses, parents. The ripple effect of drugs and alcohol abuse, everyone knows about. Someone knows in your family, in your community. Someone that has really struggled. And we, in Anaheim, we give these people shelter, food, clothing, and we turn their lives around. In most rehab centers, they find their success rate, their non-relapse rate, somewhere between 3 and 5%. And here at the Salvation Army's ARC, and there's many across the country, but in Anaheim, our success rate is right around 25%, which is multiple times fold better, where these people will make the change, will make the commitment. And we try and go mind, body, and spirit with the counseling there. It's not just finding out how they got there and fixing that. It's what can we correct to make them more fulfilled individuals and really solve the problem at core. And it is fantastic work. I'm seeing it with my own eyes.
What age range are we talking about with these folks?
Wide range. Anywhere from 18 to 55 and older. I mean, there are people literally from all walks of life. I've seen people that look like they could have been my classmates to people that could look like they'd be my parents or relatives. The age range is quite wide.
Wow.
Yes.
How do they come to the adult rehab center?
Right.
How do they get there?
Well, some people are referred by the court system. Some of these people have been in and out of jail multiple times and are finally looking for a place that's going to rehabilitate them, change their attitude, change their mind. So some people do come from the courts. Some people, it's through word of mouth. And the most shocking thing to me, once I learned about all these programs, toured the facilities, and it is like a spa center. When these individual beneficiaries are not working, they've got a pool, a foosball, a pool table. The men have a 2-lane bowling alley involved.
A bowling alley?
Everything is donated from local communities, and the women's residence, a lot of the beds are donated from the Marriott and the Hyatt, and they have excellent furniture and couches. We try, and I say we, and the Salvation Army tries to provide a real safe haven, a place where they can be comforted, get away from the stress of the world and the factors that led them to problems. And so a lot of these people are referred word of mouth. And if you know someone who is interested, and this is the fact that shocked me, is that there are empty beds.
Which, that sounds impossible.
It does. Just think about the people that want food and shelter. And there are empty beds.
I think, wait, there's only 160 some people who need help in Anaheim or their surrounding communities.
And everyone
That's crazy.
listening right now might know someone. So you can call 1-800-SA-TRUCK. That's 1-800-72-87825. So I'll try that again, 1-800-SA-TRUCK. And you can call the intake center there and get information. You just need 2 forms of ID, stop by and fill out an application, and get processed through. We should have a waiting list a mile long to help these people, and they do an excellent job. So word of mouth, court systems, and some people find out through their local food centers where we are and the good that we do.
We hear that so often, Danny, and I think that's probably one of the big problems that's on your list of things to deal with, is there are resources out there for people who are in dire straits, who are really, down and out and don't know what is the next step. They just don't know about them. And I know that's got to be probably one of your biggest jobs right now, is what we're doing right now, trying to get people aware of the opportunity that is there.
It's absolutely true, and thank you for the venue.
Sure.
What we need is education. We need to be out in the